Hey everyone, I'm James, and this is Covetous Imp Gaming, and tonight I want to talk about the Binding of Vampyr, the ritual to trap Vampyr back in Amber. Before we get started with that, please do the internet robots a favor, like this video, leave us a comment below about videos you would like to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you're alerted when we release our future content, and check us out over on Facebook and Patreon. Those links are down below. A little disclaimer, I did not write The Binding of Vampyr. It was written by another YouTuber by the name of Lunch Break Heroes. Lunch Break Heroes is a genius in all things Curse of Strahd, and I'll put a link to his channel down below. So, to sum up the ritual, there are 10 lines of text that have to be read by the party. And each line can be read about once per round. And when a line is read, some horrible thing happens, and for the most part, those effects continue to happen for the remainder of this encounter. A couple highlights from this list. One of them is if you try to do anything with a verbal component, including reading another line of the text, you have to make a saving throw. If you fail that saving throw, you're silenced for the rest of the round, meaning somebody else has to quickly move to the center and get the next line of text out. Another one being if you try to move, you have to make a saving throw. If you fail that saving throw, you move in a random direction. If you exit the ritual circle, you're in the mist. And like the usual mists of Barovia, if you walk out into the mist, you die. After the 10th line is read, Vampyr materializes out of the blood of the party. He himself is not overly difficult, and the first time I looked at this, I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. When I actually played through it the first time, I was shocked at how difficult this encounter actually was. So like I said, he's not difficult, but when you add in there's a trap happening every 20 and 10 on initiative, there are these 10 effects happening throughout the course of this battle. And all the while, Vampyr is just cruising around trying to kill people. There are 3 conditions that need to be met for this ritual to be a success. Number 1 is all 10 lines of text have to be read with no interruptions. Number 2, at least one of the 6 lanterns has to remain lit at all times. And number 3, the aspect of Vampyr has to be subdued. Once all 3 of those conditions are met, Vampyr is trapped in Amber, and the party wins. Now, there's also 3 conditions where the party would fail. If there is a round that goes by that a line of ritual does not get read, Vampyr wins. If all 6 ritual lanterns are extinguished, Vampyr wins. And if Vampyr reduces the entire party's hit points to 0, Vampyr wins. I ran this encounter for 2 separate groups, and they both really loved it. It was a very on the edge of their seat, nail-biting encounter, but they loved it. And I think that that's a good way to end a campaign, not the way that the book ends it with, you beat Strahd, but he eventually comes back. This makes the end of the campaign feel a lot more final. I also, as the DM, really liked this encounter. One thing I kind of took away was I thought some of the DCs felt a little low. I understand that having a failure during the ritual could spell certain death for the party, but those not getting your spells interrupted by making saving throws every single time just made it feel like it wasn't really a mechanic that was worth focusing on. But I chose to leave the DCs where they were because I also had everybody's stats kind of skewed when I introduced the Taraka deck of many things that I talked about a few months ago in a video where there were a lot of cards where you roll a d4 and this stat goes up by whatever the die roll was and this other stat goes down by whatever the die roll was. So people's stats were all over the place by the time the party got to this encounter. So I got to give a shout out to one of my players. He really brought it at the end when the battle was over and they were going their separate directions and this person was going to do this and this person was going to do this. He pulled out a piece of paper and he had his final farewells to everyone in the party. And I gotta say, I was getting welled up because he really brought it in that farewell to everyone. And I wish that this was something that more people did at the end of a campaign to really bring everything together and close things out. He did a great job. Rick, you are awesome. I know he's a new DM, and he's gonna do a great job as a DM because he does stuff like that. So that's all I got for tonight. I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, check out Lunch Break Heroes. I will leave a link to his video about the binding of Vampyr in the description down below. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you soon.